King Conan of Aquilonia, the mighty barbarian turned monarch, sat on his throne, a heavy crown upon his brow. But heavier still was the burden of his kingdom. Raiders from the north, from the grim land of Cimmeria, constantly harassed his borders. These were his own people, the folk he had grown up with. He knew their strength, their ferocity, their untamable spirit. To secure his realm, Conan faced a heart-wrenching choice. He would have to invade his own homeland. He gathered the might of Aquilonia, disciplined legions, knights in gleaming steel, and engines of war. He marched them north, away from the civilized lands and into the stark, misty hills and dark forests of Cimmeria. The land itself seemed to resist him, the air thick with the scent of pine and cold stone, a scent that stirred memories he had long suppressed. This was the land that had forged him, and now he returned as a conqueror. But the Cimmerians would not bow. They were clans of warriors, born and bred in this harsh country. They did not meet his army in the open field. Instead, they melted into the shadows of the forests and the crags of the hills. They became ghosts, striking without warning, their ambushes swift and deadly. The Aquilonian soldiers, trained for pitched battles on open plains, were unnerved. They saw enemies in every shadow, felt unseen eyes watching from every hilltop. The relentless guerrilla war took a heavy toll. Supplies were cut, patrols vanished, and morale began to fray under the constant unseen pressure. Conan, however, was no stranger to this kind of war. He was a Cimmerian himself. He knew the land, he knew the tactics. He split his forces, hunting the clans one by one, using their own strategies against them. He led his elite troops into the most dangerous territories, his instincts honed by a lifetime of survival in this very wilderness. The war was brutal, a grinding campaign of attrition that stained the Cimmerian soil with the blood of both sides. Months turned into a year, and the northern land was slowly, painfully brought to heel. Finally, only one major force remained. A powerful warlord had united the last of the defiant clans, making a final stand in a fortified hill fort deep in the mountains. Conan's army surrounded the stronghold, and after a bitter siege, they breached the walls. In the chaotic heart of the battle, amidst the clash of steel and the cries of the dying, Conan came face to face with the Cimmerian warlord. The man was a giant, his body a mass of scars and muscle, his eyes burning with defiance. They circled each other, two titans representing two worlds. The duel was savage. It was not a contest of civilized swordsmanship, but a brutal, primal clash. Axes swung, shields splintered, and the ground grew slick with their blood. Conan was stronger, but the warlord was faster and fueled by the desperation of a man defending his home. With a mighty effort, Conan shattered the warlord's axe and sent him staggering back, disarmed and defeated. Conan raised his own greatsword for the final blow, or perhaps to force a surrender. He stepped closer, pushing the man's helmet from his head to look his vanquished foe in the eye, and then he froze. The face, though now bearded and scarred by war, was one he knew as well as his own. It was Trocero, his friend from childhood. Trocero, with whom he had hunted in these woods, wrestled in these streams, and played at being great warriors in these very hills. A flood of memories washed over the king. He saw two boys laughing as they chased each other through the heather, their wooden swords clashing. He remembered their shared dreams of adventure and glory. The weight of his crown, the years of kingship, all of it fell away. He was no longer a king invading a foreign land. He was a Cimmerian standing before his brother. Slowly, Conan lowered his sword. The fury in his eyes softened, replaced by a deep, weary sorrow. He didn't see an enemy. He saw the friend he had left behind. Instead of chains, Conan offered his hand. He pulled Trocero to his feet, and, in front of the stunned armies of both Aquilonia and Cimmeria, he embraced his old friend. He did not take him prisoner. Instead, he declared that a man who fought with such courage and love for his land was the only one fit to rule it. Conan named Trocero the governor of Cimmeria, to rule in the king's name, but as a Cimmerian. The border would be secured not by swords and garrisons, but by a bond of trust and shared history. Having found a wiser path to peace, King Conan returned to Aquilonia, leaving his homeland in the hands of a friend. His northern frontier finally truly secure.